Hey guys, it's Dana and it's time to talk about money. And in this video, we're going to talk about sinking funds. So let's get to it. Okay, so I'm outside, obviously. I'm out and about and I wanted to film a video, and again, I'm short on time at home. So if we're talking about sinking funds, you're probably first of all wondering what that is. And this is one of the most important things, I think, financially. First of all, I think that if you are going to stay out of debt and be budgeting, I think sinking funds are absolutely vital to that. And one of the reasons why is because you're going to have things come up that you need to pay for every year, every month. And the best thing to do is to have the money set aside so that when it does, you are all prepared and you're ready to go. So in our personal life, at one point, I had a spreadsheet. And I had one savings account. And within that savings account, in the spreadsheet, what I would do is I just would list out, like, let's say you had $1,000 in the savings account. So then I'd take that $1,000 at the top and I would just break it apart. Like, say I needed $200 per year for one specific item, let's say Christmas, and maybe you're single, you don't have kids, you need $200 for Christmas, and you just know that that $200 is set aside for that. And then you can also in the spreadsheet break apart other categories. So you can just do it that way, make it very simple, just have a spreadsheet, and like I said, have one lump sum amount in that account that maybe every month you're contributing to. Bi-weekly when you get paid, you go ahead and you deposit the money into that account. Whatever you know that you need for the year, you can split it apart and do bi-weekly. Every other week you're setting a certain amount into this account, so that way you have the funds there for when that particular thing comes up, like Christmas or a vacation or whatever it is that you are saving money for, that you're sinking the money into. You are accruing the money into this account, so that way when it happens you have the money there. But now, instead of the spreadsheet method, we have several different bank accounts. And so I have one bank account, I have a credit union savings account, and that is our Christmas, holiday, vacation. I know some of you, holidays are vacations. In the United States, that's usually referred to as, Christmas, Easter, whatever you might need money for those types of holidays, but also for vacation. So we have this credit union account that money goes into every time I get paid bi-weekly. Money goes into the account and it just sort of builds up over the year, and then I know that we'll have it sitting there for when Christmas comes around or for when our summer vacation comes around. The next sinking fund that we have is for the kids' activities. I have a separate bank account which is another, this is actually a checking account, and because money comes in and out of it monthly. So every time I get paid again, the money goes into this account, and that way it's there for when I have to pay for the kids' monthly activity fees for whatever it is that they're doing. We do tennis lessons, they all play the violin, so I pay for things for that, and and also for camp. So every summer I know we're going to be paying for camps, so I have money put in there so that when those tuitions come due to register, I have the money sitting there ready to go to pay for that. Also within that kids fund is money set aside for back to school, because every year when they go back to school they need supplies for that, backpacks, new clothes. So as part of that kids activity fund, we also include back to school items because we know that comes up every single year and we're going to need it. And so that's the kids activity sinking fund. And then we also have a car sinking fund where money goes into that, and that's for car repair and car replacement. So I have a separate debit card for that account, and on the card I've written the words car onto it with a black Sharpie, so that way that debit card, we use that every time we go to the mechanic to get any kind of oil change done or any repairs. That comes out of that bank account only, and from our car sinking fund. Then we have another separate account which is for emergency. Obviously we have an emergency fund account that is through we have Ally Bank, and so that money sits there and we add to it a little bit every time we get paid. So that's probably the most important account that you have, is your emergency fund, to make sure you have money set aside for emergencies, because of course there's going to be emergencies. So the best thing to do with sinking funds is to be tracking what you're spending money on, because that way you know what is going to come up every year. If you have certain things that you owe, so for example, annual fees that come up once a year, you could set aside another account for that, like an annual expenses account. I mean, you can get as detailed as you want with this. It's totally up to you. It's, again, personal finance is so personal. So you can have as many different kind of categories as as you want, as you need, or as little. Maybe you just need one extra account where you set aside, like I said, and you do that spreadsheet method, but maybe you don't have too many things that you need to be setting money aside for. If you're saving money to buy a house, then you would have possibly a fund for that. So you put money every paycheck into that account to be putting money aside so that you can either upgrade your home or purchase your first home, and that could take a while. So then you'd have that whole account set up for that. Pets, we have a pet, we have a cat, one cat, but she has been expensive. Actually, her first year was her most expensive. We almost lost her. But if you set aside a separate account or sinking fund for your pets, that's obviously going to be probably beneficial if you have vet bills or something comes up, or just even like buying their food, cat litter, all that stuff, then you can set aside an account to be saving for that. Other items, maybe you're having a baby soon or getting married soon. Those things cost money, so you could set up a sinking fund for all of those categories. So like I said, I mean, it's endless what you can set them up for, but the point is to probably have at least one or two, because if you do celebrate any kind of holiday where you need to be purchasing gifts for people, birthday gifts, birthdays come up, then, you just want to keep in mind that all these things that you have to pay throughout the year, because it's so amazing and so much better if you go on vacation, you're paying to go on vacation, and you have the money all set aside, ready to go. You don't have to stress over it, and it just makes everything so much better, so much more relaxed and stress-free. So I highly recommend going through everything that you've paid in the last year if you can, and just or anytime something comes up, write it down and be like, oh man, we have to pay for this every year. This is going to be recurring. So it'll be better set up a sinking fund for it. So that way the next time it comes up, it doesn't sort of catch us off guard or leaves us in a lurch or going into debt. Okay. All right, guys. So I hope that that's helpful. I do have a whole blog post about sinking funds. If you'd like to check it out, I'll leave it down below in the comments. I've been really working on my blog lately, I just kind of abandoned it for a couple years, and now I'm all back into it. And so if you'd like to check that out, also Pinterest, I've been pinning everything onto Pinterest that I've been posting, so you can check that out. If not, then you can go ahead and watch a video talking all about how to build an emergency fund. I'll go ahead and link that here. So if you do, I'll see you there. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.